Okay, so Lidakor, you muted, but I'm here now, in case you're watching the stream. I'm here. I'm here to ask you questions.
So am I.
Oh, hi!
Hello.
Hi, Lidakor! Yes! I'm happy that you're casting with me today.
I'm happy as well. Thanks for the invite. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, Lidakor has been casting in ABCD1 with me already, and it was so much fun, and I think our synergy worked quite well. So I asked him again if he would also want to join me for casting ABCD2, and he said yes. He said yes.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Lida! Yes, spread love for Lidakor in the chat, and check out his Twitch channel. So, Lidakor, maybe that's what I do always with the people that are co-casting with me, just to have a little introduction, because sometimes there are people who don't know you yet. So maybe if you could have a few words about yourself, like how long you've been playing or casting Age of Empires, and what you're doing, and are you playing yourself, which elo are you, some stuff like that.
Well, I've been casting AoE2 for it's getting to be 2 years, like in January. So for almost 2 years now, playing. I sometimes play games, I guess, but I don't really play a lot of. Like, in fact, like technically my rating is around 1400, but it's like, yeah, I play one game a month or so. I actually play more Age of Empires 3 than Age of Empires 2. So.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm actually a big fan of Age of Empires 3. So.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, but you're a pro caster.
Yeah, like, if you don't know how to play, you just cast games. That's what I do.
Oh, come on. You're under exaggerating. Okay, yeah. So I think you know a lot about this game, and that's especially helpful since I'm like missing some knowledge still, and so I'm very, very happy that you're joining me for today. And there's actually been one game for the third round that has been played, and we downloaded that already, and I think we should just not wait for too long and open the game, and then I give a short introduction. And we can start.
I'm already in the recorded games, so.
Okay, you are already. Okay. Nanashi, thank you so much. Vielen, vielen Dank für die 32 Monate. Danke sehr. Nanashi kriegt auch eine Postkarte, by the way, Leute, um nochmal kurz Werbung für die Postkarten zu machen. Die müsste ich mal zeigen. Sorry, that was a short German talking in between.
No worries. Like, every time you speak German, I'm like, okay, I should understand what you're saying, but then I'm like, nope. I learned German for 4 years, but I forgot everything.
Oh, yeah, I hate when that happens. Like, you're learning a language for so long and are able to understand quite well, and then you just don't practice it anymore, and then forget it. But yeah, don't worry, Lida. It was nothing important. Okay. So I'm preparing all the things. Yeah, I hope you guys are ready here in the chat. So Lidakor and me are going to cast now the first game of the match between Super Cacboon. It's so funny, that name is so hilarious. The Super Cacboon versus It Is Believe. And yeah, so It Is Believe is playing the Ethiopians, Super Cacboon is playing the Magyars, and I would count to 3 and then we can click on play, Lidakor. Is that fine with you?
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
Okay guys, so I'm focusing now on the casting and will not be able to read the chat. Hi Music Phoenix, by the way. Hi Killer Chicken. And yes, that name is hilarious, Christy. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, that was the last time I played the horn for this match, I promise. Alright, so yes, this is the map Arabia. It's always the first map in our ABCD Cup in each matchup. And yeah, maybe you would like to start with telling us a little bit about the Civ. Would you be so kind, Lidakor?
Of course, it's an interesting combo of civilizations. We have green with Ethiopians. I'm just gonna check if you have the same colors, but yeah, you have the same colors. Okay, so we have green with Ethiopians and red with Magyars. Interesting. Like, I personally feel like Magyars are just a lot more legitimate for Arabia. They're a little bit more versatile, but especially the fact that they have access to just way better cavalry helps quite a lot in an open map like this. So I feel like Ethiopians are a little bit more one-dimensional, but if you use them right, they can be pretty strong to play around with.
Okay. So let's see what our players will make out of that. I feel like first of all, what I realize is that those two players are quite close to each other for Arabia. Like, they're just around the corner.
Yeah, they're super close. Sometimes the Arabia generation spawns like this, but I've never actually seen this in rated game Arabias. So I think this is just the standard Arabia that has been used in rated games before, right?
Yeah.
So that's quite rare in this generation. I think King of Desert Arabia had a lot of things like this when players spawn very close, and I think this helps the Ethiopian player quite a bit because he doesn't have to walk that much with his archers. He doesn't have to walk all the way across the map. It's actually his opponent being very close. The fun thing here is going to be that as you see green, he's going to start looking for his opponent, but he will have no idea that his opponent is on the right side.
Yes.
So he's going to look everywhere but where he should.
It will take a long time until he finds his opponent, and also that's very crucial in the beginning if you want to do kind of a rush or a scout rush or archery rush, then you need to know where your opponent is located, right? So you don't send those units out to nowhere, and it will let's see how long it will take him to find his opponent. And for red, I think he's on a good way to find his opponent already. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be, I think, a little bit lucky. That's like quite massive luck that he found his opponent there, seeing the berries.
And running under the TC, no! Will he be able to save that scout? No! Okay. Oh.
Okay, actually there's a lot of educational things to do about that, because basically what happened for red, yeah, he's like, can't believe it. I can give you a very good advice here, if you're red.
Yeah. I hope that he's watching. I don't know if he is watching, but if he's watching, or maybe he will watch the VOD, then listen closely to what Lidakor is saying. He's got some knowledge.
So, basically, if you look at the surroundings of Green's town center, there is those single straggler trees that are standing there. Those are basically pretty strong indication that your opponent's TC is there, especially if you see the berries. He saw the berries, so that's already an information. If you see the berries, your opponent's base is there. But if you see the berries and you see the straggler trees, you better turn back, because the straggler trees actually show you where the opponent's TC is going to be. So that's one way to avoid the town center of the opponent. Like, of course, this requires you to look at your scout. But if you see, like, if you know where your opponent's TC is about, like, for example, from berries or gold mines, then if you see the straggler trees, you have to be very careful going towards those, because those are around the town center. So if you go close to the straggler trees, you're probably going to be very close to the TC as well.
That's a very good advice, Lidakor. That's a very good advice. Okay, yeah. So almost also Green Scout died, but he survived it quite well. And with that, he found his opponent earlier than we might have thought. So he did a very nice scouting here. He also built a barracks already before he reached feudal age, or on his way to feudal age. So let's see, maybe he's going for a drush or something like that, I don't know. And hi Olive.
This is an interesting play from Green. He's making militias and he's making 2 farms, which makes me believe he's trying to do a drush FC. If you were to play drush archers, you probably don't do farms like this, or probably not 2 of them. But for a drush FC, this is a little bit late barracks, so like usually in a drush FC, you probably build that barracks at latest with like villager number 18, and you can see that by the time this finished, it's already villager number 22 out. So, and apparently it's a drush archer's play because he's getting loom after it.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily a fan of dropping 2 farms if you're going for drush archers then, to be honest.
Okay. So there's some more improvement possible here. So I don't know whether the build orders of our players are that clean. So let's see.
Yeah, of course not. But I'm trying to say this as an educational thing. So, like basically, if you are going for a rather fast few lanes, so anything other than a fast castle, in most cases you don't build farms in Dark Age. Of course, it's not really a big problem. So we have seen players making farms, like, for example, from expert players, Nikov loves to play with at least one farm in Dark Age, regardless of the build.
Okay.
So it also depends a little bit on the player's style. I personally don't like dropping farms, but some experts actually do like that.
Okay, so now green reached the opponent and is attacking with those militia. Red is already in feudal age, so he was a little bit faster. Let's see if he will be able to do some damage. Don't let all of the militia die under the TC. That's what happens a lot, that they're running right under the TC and lose all the militia. 2 of them survived and he was able to yeah, push him away from the berries. I like how Red is trying to react with walling up in a way. Let's see if that will be successful. So there's at least distraction going on now. So
yeah, I think Red is fine. Like,
Red
those
is
militias
fine.
are very low HP. He can just pull 3 villagers and win that fight.
Yeah.
What I like about Green, speaking of farms still, is that he's placing the farms to the right side of his TC. That's usually the way you want to do it, because you can fit farms a little bit nicer than if you place it elsewhere. I think Red is also doing that, so
yeah.
that's a nice move from both.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna trap the militias there. Even better. Look at that.
Yeah, he's trapping them. Awesome. Hopefully those 2 villagers won't cut through, though. He could cut his way through to the militia in the wood. And now green is building 2 archery ranges and producing the archers, as you said already.
Yeah, indeed, it's looking good for him now. Red starts to make scouts and reacts with skirmishers. I'm actually okay with that.
Okay.
So sometimes, especially in low elo, you see players just, you know, deciding that, hey, I'm going to make this strategy and do it like that. But Red is reacting to the archers with skirms, and I like that quite a bit here. So scouts and skirms will work very nicely for him, especially with Magyar scouts that are cheaper and stronger as well at the beginning.
Yeah, and I mean, green did not wall at all yet. Like, he's so open. It would be very... Yeah. I think at the gold and at the back wood, if green wouldn't do quick wall or quick houses, then that would be a nice spot for attack for the scouts. And 2 scouts are already approaching. He's passing the archery ranges and could see eventually that there are archers inside.
Yeah,
he will get a catch on that woman.
Yeah, that woman is dead. Magyar scouts are super good on low elo. That's something I noticed. Because you get the free forging and that helps so much, unless you lose your scouts to the spearmen.
Yeah. Those 2 are very low already. That was close.
Yeah, that hurts so bad. But still, I like Red's unit composition here a little bit better. Just a few skirmishers, you can kill spearmen with skirms very easily. You can kill archers with skirms nicely, so... That's actually a good one. Green has some nice quick skills, I have to say.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, he's already quick playing better than I do.
Wow, I'm impressed. All our impressive ABCD players. We've seen so many cool plays, like especially also in Dark Age, of some people like saving their villages with putting sheep into between the boar and the villager that was luring and stuff like that. It was crazy. Oh, now he lost another woman though. So that scout rush
that house is pretty weak. You probably want to focus that.
Yeah, now he's building it.
But yeah, those were very nice quick walls. Like,
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm like 13, 50, 40, 100, and I'm not making quick walls like that, so that's nice.
Now all scouts died to that spearman though. Let's see. He has 2 more in the base. Red. Not building any more scouts though now. But
Interesting.
yeah.
Like, I feel like the problem for Red is going to be that his right side is still a little bit open.
Yeah.
You probably want to at least consider adding just a single layer of polycide, because
Yeah.
you already started making that wall might as well finish it because that leaves your right side pretty open. Green is just massing archers, which could work, but it's a little bit dangerous because like these archers are pretty strong in feudal, especially if your opponent doesn't have a lot of skirms, and red only has one archer range and he only has a few skirms out. But once we get to Castle Age, Mangonels could be a little bit more problematic. Magyar Knights could be very problematic to deal with, so we'll see if it works out for him to just mass up those archers, but apparently now he's moving out.
Okay, so he's going for the attack now. Let's see what will happen. So red really should wall also their house on the bottom left. Let's see at the upgrades. No upgrades for the archers yet, but also no upgrades on the skirms, so...
And that still hurts the archers more, and for green, if he's just stacking up the archers waiting for Castle Age, it's fine not to go for upgrades and go for better Castle Age time, but if he wants to attack, he needs at least fletching. So usually it is said that you are trying to get fletching before you take any fights.
Yeah.
And red is going to invest into fletching. Green, on the other hand, oh, he doesn't have a blacksmith. No, wait. No, he has another blacksmith.
He has another blacksmith. He has two blacksmiths now. He lost the scout. Oh yes, he died. Oh no, he forgot about his own blacksmith. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, yeah, that happens. I bet our players are always very nervous when they are playing those matches also. So you have to say that they are probably not very experienced in playing tournaments and knowing that games will be casted and watched by many people. So I think that's something that makes people more nervous when playing. That's so cute. Yes, Chonk, hi!
Okay, so some interesting decisions from Green. He actually went for Man-at-Arms for a moment, then cancelled it, so probably just a misclick. And now he went for Wheelbarrow. I think that he could have just cancelled Wheelbarrow and went for Castle Age.
Yeah.
Because he would have the resources without Wheelbarrow. It's not really a big deal for him, and he's gonna have an okay eco here, but he's gonna have a quite significant deficit going into Castle Age that could hurt.
Yep, because his opponent is already 40% up. Villager difference is not very high, point difference also not very high, so nothing to say so far from that. Now, red is moving forward with the skirms, but so many archers.
It's still skirmishers, so you have to be careful with those, and I'm not sure if green wants to really take this. He's believing in the numbers and the Ethiopian power, but yeah, once the archer armor comes in for red, I don't think that this is a fight that he should take. That being said, red still has pretty low skirmisher numbers, so he either needs to add a second archer range and go for more skirms, or go for a siege workshop in castle. Because he's not getting into any cavalry. He could actually, if you look at red's resources, he's got 500 food, 400 gold. He could, especially now that he's making a second stable, he could get bloodlines and +1 armor. And Magyar Knights will start with +2 attack already, so he could get some very strong knights very fast.
Exactly, and now that he is even earlier in Castle Age and then pump out a couple knights, that can be very, very devastating. What I don't like so much is that the second stable is so far in the back. I mean, yeah, he's building the wall with it, but it's very, very far away, and you always have to consider those are a couple seconds that could be important.
Yeah, it's actually, indeed, as you were saying, you want that on the front. Because you want to be able to mass your units on the front, so it would have been better to just add a layer of Palisade over there and be done with it.
Yeah. Hi Chris and hi Green Squirrel. Okay, so that is quite an impressive archery army there. So these are 27 archers at the moment. So let's see.
I like the knights from green. I actually love that. If red goes heavily on the skirmishers, just a few knights can be so helpful at just soaking up the skirmisher fire and just making the entire thing disorganized. He could consider adding +1 armor so those knights don't die that easily, but it's not really necessary.
Okay, so red has the upgrades on his knights so far. So let's see. Green is moving forward now.
Yeah, this is looking great for green. He's got Ethiopian crossbow with +1 armor and Bodkin. He can take that fight pretty easily.
Red was waiting for the upgrade before he's attacking, and now he's also coming with his knights.
Yeah, the problem here for him is that you can start making knights when you reach Castle Age, but green has been making archers the entire feudal age, so he's gonna have a much better army here. Red will be in the need of a siege workshop.
Yeah, and now there is no army left for red at all. And he has a couple idle villagers here at the moment. He's building a second archery range now. In the back.
That's something I'm not a big fan of. He's trying to go skirms, which is understandable, and like that's basically what players would do. It's like, okay, he's going archers, I'm gonna go skirms, but you don't have the time to mass that many skirms. Here, you are in the need of a defensive siege workshop. I think the scary part for red... the scary part for red is that his wood lines are all exposed to crossbowmen fire, and that's pretty scary.
Yeah. So green looks like he's breaking through in a few seconds. There is a siege workshop, oh gosh, coming. And another archery range. So let's see whether red can defend that now.
I think the tricky part for red here is that he needs to make sure he doesn't get his mangonels sniped down by knights. If he can get 2 mangonels out, he's fine.
Oh, did you see, Lidakor, that he's raiding also in the back of green space?
That's nice. It's actually a nice move.
Yeah, that's very
a lot of
good.
diversion.
Yes,
and
counter raid.
Green has Suri idols over there, so he definitely does have its effect. But the problem is that the crossbows are in. He's calling it.
He's calling the GG already. Did he build a mango? And
nope.
No.
I don't think so. He was in trouble. I totally give him that. But I feel like, especially looking at his resource, I think he could have actually squeezed out at least a mangonel and tried to get a shot.
Yes.
Maybe Maybe he hits a big boom.
Exactly. Maybe it would have been a better boom, a big better boom, and maybe it is believed is not good at microing his army, and then could have been already. Yeah, I mean, red has some resources left. He's not completely out of the game yet, I would say, but yeah, of course it's quite scary to have such a big army in the base. On one hand, you're like, yeah, I would probably resign too at that point, because it's just a big army right there. But on the other hand, it's like the tourney, and you have like one shot and try as hard as you can, and as long as you can, as long as it's not completely lost. I really like that he was going for the counter raid. He was able to get into the eco and kill some villagers. He was actually sniping some with those knights. Maybe he could have done even more damage there, and then green would have had a hard time too. So yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I feel like maybe going for the extra archer ranges was something that he shouldn't have done. I think from what I've experienced, seeing pro players play, if your opponent has a bunch of archers and he's coming towards you, you're gonna make a defensive siege workshop, because it's just much easier to get a mangonel out than to get 10-15 skirmishers out. It takes so much time to get that many skirmishers that can take a good fight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true, Grath. I agree. He also said it's very hard to tell when to resign when you're low elo sometimes. But in this case, I would say just try a little bit longer, because it's a tourney. And when you're in doubt, just try a little bit longer. Don't get frustrated. But still, I mean, it was a good game. Quite a short game, actually. And so far, I think it was quite equal, I would say. I mean, yeah, red had that big army, and the first fight was lost then for red, but still, it was not that big difference that we've seen in other matchups before. Do we have our ! match comment actually about the elo of our players?
I think that
yeah, they're super
it was
similar.
a perfectly balanced game, so it was good. But giving credit to both of them, even for an expert player, it's sometimes very hard to judge when to give up. So I have seen expert players quitting after 10 minutes. I have seen expert players playing for 2 hours when they were behind by 60 villagers. So even expert players sometimes misjudge when they should resign or not.
Yeah, that's true. So let's see how the second game will go. So GG for sure to both players. I think I applauded already, but never get enough credits to our players. Very nice. And thanks for the follow, Winterhell, and Zitcom, thank you so much for 5 months. Appreciate that a lot. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so yeah, let's wait. Let's look into the second game, I would say. This time, Super Cackboon will be able to pick his home map. What was that? Oh, the lights went out. That means, yeah, we will see now what he prepared for the second game. So I'm loading the second one.
Yeah, I'm in the second, so...
You are there. Okay, perfect. All right. So I'll give a short introduction and then count to 3 again.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So this is the match 2 of the matchup Super Cackboon in red versus Edith's Belief in green in our ABCD2 tourney round 3 best of 16. And this is the home map of Edith's Belief, as it is as he lost the first game. And this is 4 lakes, so he chose the map 4 lakes. Let's see what he prepared. He is playing the Persians versus Super Cackboon with the Japanese. Some excellent picks here. So I think we should just hop into it, and I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as far as I know, Japanese is a very good pick for that map because they have like those special fishing ship bonuses. Maybe you can explain that a little bit better than me, Lidakor. And the wood, something with the wood.
Yeah, so what makes Japanese great here is that they have 2 fishing ship related bonuses. First, their fishing ships have double the health as standard fishing ships, so it's much harder to kill them, which helps quite a bit. That also applies to like even higher rated players, but especially on lower elo, the fact that your fishing ships are much harder to kill helps a lot. But they also work faster, so you get a fishing speed bonus on your fishing ships, and they're also stronger. And they also have cheaper lumber camps, mining camps. On the other side, Persians have faster working docks, so they can make fishing ships faster working town centers, so they can add villagers a little bit faster. So I think this is a fairly balanced matchup. And what really makes this map interesting is that both players have a very, very open map. Usually it's a lot more closed, and there are a lot more wood lines that are good for the players.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Arabia a little bit with the wood lines here. So, I mean for red it's super open. For green it's a little, yeah, well, it's a little bit better eventually, yes. I feel like green has a little bit more wood patches closer to the base, but maybe that's also just some very subjective impression here. But regarding green's base, I just wanted to mention also that his gold is very much forward. And the main stone and the berries are nice in the back. But he also has an additional gold spot at the side, which could be easier to protect for him. For red, he has like everything very nice in the back. He has the gold, he has the stone, and he has the berries. It's all nice and protected. And he even has that extra wood patch in the back. So let's see. I think the map is a little bit in favor for red here. I'm not sure.
I actually think it's in the favor of green, to be honest. I feel like his base is a little bit more defendable.
Regarding the wood lines, or like...
Overall, just if you look at how he could potentially vol, it's much easier for him to vol off his base than it is for red. Like, red has a huge opening on the top of his base that's going to be pretty hard to defend. So he has his goal at the back, but that's still open from the north. So if I had to select between the 2 bases, I would probably like green's one a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, let's see how our players will do it. So what I like is that green is always like taking care to do the resource walling. So green is probably not deciding to wall here for a while at least, and he's building the houses already around the wood line, so he can wall in his villagers here. So that's very nice. And regarding the build order, also both players went to get the dock first before getting the mill, so that shows that they are also both familiar with playing this map, which is very important, of course, because it can be tricky if you are not prepared. Okay, green will find his opponent now. Found the main goal. See if he will run under the TC. Hi Mono Scout, I can scroll slow down the scroll speed. Yeah, in the game you mean? Oh, let's see about red scouting.
Red had to wall in his Voyager for a moment here, close to the dock. I'm not sure what happened there. But he's gonna have to pay attention because I think he's gonna get housed if he's not making a house very soon.
Yeah. He's building one now. Let's see if that will be still in time. I think he was scared because he saw the enemy scout. And now he will find his opponent. Let's see. Hopefully this time his scout won't die again under the TC.
Like, if you look at Red's POV now, he's doing what he has to perfectly.
Yes.
He sees the straggler tree, he should know that the TC is around here, so you probably avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing that makes this interesting for Red is that he didn't actually make that dock close to shore fish, and he's not even using a Voyager to do the shore fishing, which is something he should do because that's a great source of food.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting advice. I did not know that either. Did Green do that? Green is doing that. Very nice.
Yeah, this is basically the way you always place docks nowadays, because shorefish is one of the fastest food sources with Voyagers. So you can drop it off here. If you play islands, that works just as well. If you play Mediterranean, Baltic, this map, basically it works. You place your dock close to a shorefish, so that Voyager can keep getting food.
Okay, that's very good to know. So Red has 4 fishing ships at the moment. Green also has 4. They're both on the way to feudal age now. Oh, and the Green Scout, will he survive? Yes, he's surviving this.
He was actually lucky because Red had no Voyagers close to the TC, so by the time he jumped in with 3, he was already gone.
Yeah, that was lucky for Green then. But Red did a way better scouting than last time already. So let's see, he's attacking a house now. Let's see what will happen. Okay, so the click-up time was really similar for both. One clicked up with 26, the other clicked up with 27 villagers.
That's a little bit late barracks for Red. I'm not sure what he's planning, but he's adding 4 Voyagers on gold, and he doesn't have a dock on Green's Lake, so I think this is Archers. But if this is Archers, this barracks is a little bit too late. So...
Okay.
Ideally, you want to finish it by the time you reach feudal age, so you can start making your arch ranges immediately.
True, true.
So, like, it's not really a big problem here, I believe. It's just a matter of, okay, you see that this barracks is still at 40% when you are 90% towards feudal. You add 1 more Voyager on it from the wood line, so you finish in time.
Yeah, yeah. Funny thing, I think both players were housed at the very same second at 30 villagers. That was hilarious. Boom live from both of them. Yes, they're booming at the moment. Let's see what will happen. I think they have to decide for a strategy here now. Archery range now, yes.
Green already decided, and he's going for a fast castle play here. Interesting. It's actually a pretty well executed fast castle, so looks pretty fast. And look at Green, he's scouting for a dock on his own lake. He's scared that Red might dock him. That's actually very smart, and that's something he should do. In fact, one of the things that pros do is indeed what Green is doing. Take that far away fish. So if your opponent makes a dock on your lake, you might spot it with that fishing ship. Of course, this is a little bit more inefficient for this fishing ship because it has to travel more, but it gives you a chance to maybe spot your opponent before he could do anything.
That's a very good point too, yes. So I'm wondering, because we had a lot of games already in this tourney where there were no fights on the water at all. Like, we had some games, we had a game already where no one went on water. That was quite, they were of the same opinion here. Then we had a game where everyone was fishing only on their own pond, on one own pond. And I think we had one game where there was also pond fighting going on. So I'm excited how this game will be.
Yeah, I actually like that red attacked the vulture that was making the barracks, so he can delay the barracks. It's weird that he's not going back now because he's giving that vulture time to build that barracks.
Yeah.
He could have actually delayed that a little bit further, but this is looking good for green here. Because he's in castle age right now. He could drop 2 stables, and Persian Knights are pretty good, especially considering that Persian Knights get an attack bonus against archers, so those feudal age archers from red will die very, very easily to Persian Knights.
No walls, FC, that's scary, but he got it, I guess. Yeah, it seems like it worked out for him.
It's always tricky on cross. I think one of the maps where you could potentially get away with something like this is on cross, because hybrid builds don't really have drushes or like very, very fast scouts plays involved. You can do those, but those uptimes will not be as super fast as you would think. So, like in comparison to Arabia, where a fast scouts play is pretty much going to kill a fast castle that has no walls, here, even if you go scouts, you click up a little bit later because you're making fishing eco. So I think this is one of those maps where you could potentially get away with it. It's still risky, but it's less risky than doing it on Arabia.
Yeah. And now he's building the first knights. And red has a couple of archers here, so maybe he will be able to do something. But I also have to say what I really like a lot is that both our players are scouting each other all the time. Like, they're really having a look at what's going on here. I mean, yeah, red did not check yet that there are scouts coming, but green, for example, saw that there are the archers coming over now, and it's like they're really at the base of the opponent with the scouts, checking what is happening. Is there an army approaching my base? That's really cool.
Okay, so he's gonna scout the archers, which means he should go for cavalry armor. One thing I want to point out for green, though, is that I don't like his second TC spot. If you look at his base, his primary gold is super open, and archers could kill those vultures easily.
Yeah.
I think his second TC should go on the primary gold, because, like, yeah, his wood line isn't great, but it's not like that is an immediate danger of getting pushed away, whereas that gold mine is a little bit more exposed. Of course, he has a gold at the back, but I still would prioritize trying to defend that forward gold.
And I really like now that green was trying to delay that building of the siege workshop. I mean, now there's a scary mass of knights approaching, but it was very nice that he prohibited the build of that siege workshop. Yes, now he's going on the hill.
Persian knights.
But yeah, the knights.
Persian knights are just brutal against archers, even though technically green didn't have a single upgrade on those knights, which is something that archers with some better upgrades could have punished. Like, those archers had no upgrades. If those archers had +1/+1,
no,
they could have punished those knights a little bit better.
They did not have any upgrade. They did not have
Absolutely
any
nothing.
Oh, well, then it's the thing that you said earlier in the first game. Like, you should attack when you have the upgrades with the archers.
Yeah, exactly. So, especially now for green, if you look at the green's resources, he could easily get scareboarding right now. He consistently has 250 wood, or 250 food. Scareboarding costs 150, I believe. He could get that without stopping to make knights or villagers.
What I like is the quick houses behind the walls. He's walling behind the walls so the knights won't get in that fast. But the thing is that he's still open on the left side, and that's what you exactly said, Lidakor. Like, this is so hard to wall, it's so open here, and the knights are so mobile, and red will have that open, staying open. He's trying to defend on the right side, but it's just a matter of time until green is coming from that side. But I like also that there are spearmen from red to protect from the weak side. That's very nice here.
Yeah, he needs that. In fact, I don't think I like the extra archer armor from him. I don't think he needs that. Spearman is fine defending, but when you are in a position like this, you want to get to Castle Agent. The interesting thing is that he has the market, but he's not going up. Like, he has 1,000 wood in the bank. He could... Oh, he already clicked up.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Okay.
Well, That being said, he still could have gotten up a little bit faster if he had that much wood. He could have clicked up a little bit faster, but at least he can make 2 TCs now, and that's something he should. That's a nice TC spot on the stone.
And that's something also I wanted to mention again. We've seen so often that the castle time is so crucial in those games. Like when you see that your opponent reached castle age, try to reach it yourself as fast as possible. Build that market and try to get up too. Because that castle age advantage is massive, and you should have the time as short as possible, the time advantage for your opponent here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 2 barracks right now for Red. I think he's doing the right thing, go like pikeman siege defense, but like especially with the amount of wood that he has pretty little on gold, so he could allocate 1 or 2 more villagers. Like villagers just finished on the hunt, they could send it to gold, make a siege workshop, get a mangonel out, and go like pike and siege defense, maybe even add a few monks. He has so much wood, and he's hitting Green's wood line, which is nice.
Yes, I like that counterattack. There is that TC now though. Let's see, there's also other juicy stuff over there, and I think he knows that there's the gold spot. Let's see if he will attack that now. Yeah, and let's see how he will defend that front attack here from those mangonels and the knights. And as you said, something that many beginners of our cup are not thinking about is making a monastery and build monks. I think I haven't seen that yet so far in any of the matches as a counter strategy against knights.
Yeah, Red is floating a lot of wood. He actually queued up 10 pikemen on both of his barracks. In this case, you probably want to add like a third barracks. There is no point having 10 pikemen queued up on your barracks because it takes so much time to do them, and the gate is open.
The gate is open, the woman's like, hello! Okay, no, he did not run through, but they could have run through.
Though, how is Red going to stop the mangonels here? That's my problem. He has the wood, that's what is surprising for me. He could even make a stable and go for 2 knights and try to snipe the mangonels, but he needs something as the mangonels. Pikeman alone isn't going to save him.
Yeah, I'm wondering, he's maybe panicking at this point a little bit. It's like, you're thinking about what to do. I mean, he's building a stable, so the first reaction here is happening. And he killed a lot of knights.
Yeah, it's Japanese pikemen that are super, super strong. So, I think that Green could get punished here for being greedy, because you don't want to send in knights that don't even have bloodlines against a bunch of Japanese pikemen.
Yeah. And now Red could build his own knights. He has a lot of wood and food and gold. He could build his own knights to destroy those mangoes in the back.
Yeah, I think that, believe it or not, I think Red is actually in an acceptable spot. He's probably behind, but not by that much. Right now, if he makes like 2 knights, those mangonels are dead. Green cannot stop those knights from killing it.
And keep producing villagers. He's been idling a long time now.
Yeah, he just needs 2 knights and those mangonels are dead. That's all he needs.
There is a knight already. Send the knight to the mangonels. They're unprotected. Oh no, he's resigning. Are you serious? You're about to clear the whole attack. He doesn't have anything left anymore.
Oh, that's so sad. Because he was actually in a position to turn this around. I mean, Green had a good eco, so Green had 3 TCs. He was ahead. But this wasn't impossible for Red because, okay, Green is going to lose all the knights. In fact, Green has thrown away a lot of resources with those knights being killed by pikemen. And Green was about to run out of juice. He had like a few knights in here that were low HP. 3 mangonels go down the drain. And yeah, Red is 1 TC, but if you look at Red's resources,
he has so many resources. He almost to build a castle.
Yeah, honestly, this is the type of scenario when you're like, you know, maybe make another stable, try to get a few knights on the field alongside a pikeman, and try to castle drop your opponent. At least you try something, right?
Like build a castle at your opponent's base, or what did you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it isn't going to guarantee you win, but maybe it equalizes things because he was behind. He's like 20 villagers behind. But if you drop a castle in the opponent's primary gold, things could get pretty tough for Green suddenly, especially in low elo. And he could have actually got an army out that is capable of doing that.
That's true. Yeah, GG, I mean... two quite very short games here. I think Super Cagboon did not really have so much confidence in himself. I feel like he's lacking the confidence into his strength and his ability to come back and recover. I think it's something you definitely need to practice, of course. But yeah, just trust yourself. I mean, look, he cleared all those mangonels with that one knight there. He just would have needed to attack the other knights and his base would have been clean.
Yeah, it's very tricky because on the other hand, he's looking at like, okay, I lost the town center and whatnot. I feel like the best thing that you can do to kind of practice this is to watch some expert players. Like, for example, Mbia might be the best to do this. Like, Mbia is just able to come back from ridiculous scenarios. And if you just look at him playing sometimes, you can start believing that, maybe I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's a good advice here. And Sunam was like, I disbelieve that was GG, but just like a Neely joke. I disbelieve that was GG, and yeah, it was I disbelieve in this matchup here. Yeah, too bad. Lidakor, how about you? Do you think we should go and cast another one?
Sure, if you have the recorded games.
So unfortunately our players are mostly playing on the weekends, so there's no record from round of 3, but I'm sure there are some games from round 2 that have not been cast much, or at least I didn't cast them. So if you will want to have a look with me at Rex round of 32.
Sure.
So
but those were old versions, right?
Excuse me?
Like those were on the previous patch, right?
Yes, they were on the previous patch.
So that means that we need to switch back the version of the game. Do you know how to do that?
No. But I think I was able to open old games.
You shouldn't really be able to watch old recorded games in this patch.
Hold on, I'll try to open one of the old ones.
The main reason is because the game is going to freak out when things are happening that are different in the two versions.
Okay. Because the start is working and then the game will freak out. And I might just want to quit. I just went into a game to check it.
I think the first few seconds of the game works fine, but then suddenly it drops. But honestly,
and it drops.
It is just very inconsistent. I think. Yeah, see, this is exactly.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your stream right now. This is what you are usually getting.
Yeah.
It's not really super hard to get the game version back, but it takes like 5 minutes or so.
Okay, so question is, should we do that? I mean, we still have time. So from my side, we still have time. It's just sad that our players only play on the weekends.
No worries. I can set my game version back in a moment. I can.
They're not scheduling in a way that I can cast live here on stream. Oh, Grath, I'm happy that you're enjoying this. Oceaning, hi! Oceaning! She's Procian! Oceaning is Procian and she's devastating in our matchups today. Not today, the past matchups. She destroyed everyone. Yes! I'm so happy that you came so far. Are you proud? You should be super proud. You're really Procian. Can we get a live show match? We can do a live show match maybe. I don't know if Super Cagboon is watching actually. I would love to see him play again.
Yeah, I think I'm also fine with a live show match if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have so many ABCD players here. Why not? Let's do it. Someone would like to go for a practice/show match here live on stream now? Bilbo the Great, thank you very much for the follow and welcome. That's a good idea, Chong. You down for it? And Grath, we still have to chat, right? I did not get a DM from you, but I also did not send you any either, so... Yes, you're doing great. I'm looking forward to watching your next games. And I think in the next round I will be able to watch all games. And cast all games. So no one will get away from me! We cast all the games. No worries,
Yeah.
Grant.
I feel like a live show match is always fun, especially if you rewatch what like the casters are saying about this. This reminds me of when I was actually coached by Nilly once.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did is that I was playing and I was sharing my screen with him on Discord.
Okay.
And he was like pretty much just telling me what I shouldn't do. Is like, why are you even sending more villagers to Wood when you have like 45 villagers and I have like 10,000 Wood? He's like, and at some point Nilly is like, starts screaming, stop sending villagers to Wood. So it gives me back those memories when I was like, yeah, I also experienced this when I was like playing, and then, you know, I don't think my coaches ever said a lot of positives about my gameplay, but I always valued that. So I think it's good to be critical. I mean, as long as I'm not number one in the world, there is probably something that can be criticized on my gameplay, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's what you are doing those coachings for. So
yeah,
you
exactly.
can learn.
And I think one of the best things that the players here are experiencing in this tournament is that they are getting a chance to look at their games through someone casting them. And when you are like stressed out, when you're focusing, you're not even noticing mistakes like, oh, I didn't make villagers for 10 minutes. So when I was like I can definitely recommend everybody who has played in this tournament, if their games were casted, to watch that. If not, maybe even just looking at the recorded games can help so much at realizing, oh, I could have done this differently. I could have done that differently.
Yes. Yes, it's so super helpful. And yeah, I mean, ABCD participants, I know there are people hanging out here. It's so valuable to have this opportunity to get this casted, like to get the different point of view onto your gameplay, to have someone with more experience to cast it. It's just so valuable for you. Just do it. Grab the chance. Don't be shy.
It's a one-time opportunity that you get your gameplay being trash talked by me.
No, you're not a trash talker. I'm much worse. I mean, I've been trash talking so much already in my casting. Like, I remember the casting with Moonfaller actually was also, I did a lot of trash talking, like catching, like he's always saying to when you catch the villagers or catch someone with their pants down. It was so funny. Yeah, you're really not a bad trash talker, leader. It's all fine.
It's more like I'm being polite here, but like I actually trash talk some people. Like I was coached by Nikov back then, and I remember that like he was telling me when I was missing something, like missing eco upgrades and whatnot, and I can trash talk him pretty hard if he's doing that in tournaments. Of course, it's like he's being an expert player and he's still performing amazing, but you know, we're in good relations, and I get to trash talk him when he's making the same mistakes as I do in my lower level games.
Yeah, but that's fun. It's like when you're getting along well and just being, teasing each other. It's super fun. I love that. Yeah, Diftom, no worries. Bring the kids to bed. All fine. Get them to sleep. Quentin, thank you so much for 200 bits. Thank you. So Oceaning would be down to play, Chunk would be down to play, and Callum would also be down to play. And Yip Yip, thank you very much for the host. Hi, Yip Yip. I disbelieve crashed. Yes, he did. Oh, I have already a game ID. Chunk sent me a game ID. I think they're already in the game. So maybe we'll watch 2 games then. Yip Yip, how are you? Thank you so much. And also, we have a new follower. Crimson. Hello. And Pinocchio, hi. Okay, so this is the game ID. What's with that 0? Is that new? 0/ something?
I don't know, but it's actually just a lobby right now, so it's just one person.
Okay, wait, where do I go on? Wait, where do I find that? It's looking so different here. I go on multiplayer and then find custom game? Ah, there.
Yes, you have to go for that. It's a very, very confusing menace system.
It's the first time. Yes, it's the first time I'm doing this here with the new update. Have you guys played the new update yet? I mean, our ABCD participants for sure, but how about the others? It was over before we knew it. Yes, it went so fast. It was so fast. Super Cacboon resigned so fast. So Lidakor and me were talking about it, and Lidakor gave some really good advices. And Lidakor was actually of the opinion that, especially in the second game, he could have still won this. There was still a chance he could have come back from that. You don't need the the 0/. Okay. Obi Jauneger? I have no idea how to pronounce that. I just say Obi. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Okay, I'll click on refresh. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, like they are still in the lobby making it right now. There is three people in that lobby right now.
3 people in that lobby. What is happening? We only need 2 people for the show match. Oh, it's Super Elo. Is Super Elo? I think he's also still in the game. I'm always confused when the Twitch name is different than the Age of Empires name. Yes, sure, that's fine, Chunk. All fine. I haven't finished work yet. Need to jump out. No worries. Have fun at work, Yippee. Or 4. Yeah, that would be possible too. Ah, that's you. Ah, gosh, I'm so confused. I mute the stream. Okay. So... Oh no, I don't want to join the lobby. I clicked join the lobby.
Yeah, that's always dangerous when you're like, you're waiting for the players to start, but then you accidentally double click the lobby and it's like, quickly get me out of here.
Exactly. Good luck, have fun. Exactly, yes. Have fun at work. Didn't know that Artie can be so cruel. Oh, come on. It's good if you have fun at work. Some people do have that, FK. So actually, I think now I could have a look at our tournament page, at the brackets, because normally I never did that so far, not to spoiler myself, but now I'm up to date with everything. So I would be able to have a look at the tournament page. Should we have a look maybe in the meantime? I'll check it out real quickly. Gotta find. Have some music maybe in the background here. Okay. Alright, so I'll just need to share that with you guys so you can see it too. Wow, there's much to see here. Okay, that works. Okay, so we have in our round 3 Moin versus Schwimmboots, H819 versus Oceanic Abyss. That's our girl matchup. I'm so sad that one of the girls will be kicked out because they have to play against each other. We need more women power in this. We'll have Hadeo versus Halder, Andro Rider versus Callum, Yipip versus Sirius. So also all people that are watching the stream regularly, so that's really cool. It is Believe versus Super Cacboon played already, so that will be It is Believe in the next round here. Kerbal versus Salon, we've seen both of them play, both really strong players. And then Super Elo, I think it was the winner. I casted that game actually. I think it was Javi. Super Elo versus Javi. That has to be entered still. Yeah.
Also, we have a game here with the show match.
We have a game! Perfect timing! Okay, I'll turn off the music again. Hope you guys are hyped. We will have a show match, guys! We are watching a show match now and casting with Lidakor. Thank you, Lidakor, that you're staying with me and casting that show match.
No problem. You probably wanna like fast forward the first 1 minute or so, because like it's actually live.
Okay, I just don't Yeah, find it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'll look for the name. Please, find the game. Joeferg, thank you very much for the follow. Don't refresh too often. Oh, I'm such a refresher.
Yeah, I think the lobby ID works better.
Okay.
You might need to go back to the main menu and then come back on the spectate screen. Sometimes
there!
it's the...
I got it, Lida. I got it. Thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes! Okay, it's Super Elu versus Oceaning Abyss. Oh my goodness. And I'll fast forward until we are live and set up everything for the game here. Okay, it is Super Elo playing the Chinese versus Oceaning Abyss playing Tatars. It's a new patch. I don't know much about that new patch and the things that changed. Still gotta watch that. I wanted to watch Ornlu's video actually. Did you make one also, Lidakor?
No. I feel like I could make one, but like everybody else has been doing that, and I feel like, you know, it takes quite a lot of time to overview this. So I feel like I don't necessarily feel like I wanna spend a lot of time on that, considering that literally everybody else has been doing that.
Yeah, totally understandable. Okay, not two Lumbercamps. Okay, I'm live now. I'm live. Okay, Chinese, they do have that very special Chukonu unique unit, right?
Yeah, they do, but I think one thing that makes Chinese super interesting for low-elo players is that the Chinese build order is completely different from everything else at the beginning. So, like, you specifically have to learn the Chinese start, and that's not a thing that a lot of low elo players know. So if you have a good Chinese start in low elo, you're actually considered a pretty decent player already.
Oh, that could actually happen because Super Elo has been training like crazy and he has already reached 1200 elo during the course of this tourney. So we're watching a game between one of our definitely strongest players in the tourney, Super Elu, and our Protion. So we need to have some hype here a little bit. She will get challenged here, but who knows if she will win the next match.
Oh no!
Oh, but it was so nice how she did that first. That the idea was perfect, but the kill for Super Elu there.
It could have been so much more easier if she didn't send the weak Voyager. Like, that's always a tricky one to take a look at, but every time you're sending a Voyager, you shouldn't send the weak Voyager.
Okay.
It's a lot of things to focus on, but that's, I think, one of the biggest priorities early on. Like, you could lose a Voyager very early if you send out a 5 HP or 10 HP Voyager at the beginning.
So that's a good advice here already for Protion. When she will watch the VOD, I'm sure she will. Yes! Next time that won't happen again when you face Super Elo in the finals.
Yeah, like, what I do, I'm not sure if that's really what everybody else is doing. Like, I can't give expert player advice here, but what I do when I'm playing is that if I need to send out one Voyager from below my town center to take gold, I select all my Vogagers below town center, and at the bottom panel, you can see the health of those Voyagers. I just select one that has max HP.
Oh, okay. So you... that is so good. Okay. Also good advice here. We're learning so much here from our Cocaster Lidakor. Check him out, guys. He's doing a lot of cool co-casting. You can learn even more at his own channel when he's streaming. Check him out. He has some really cool stuff to learn for you. And look at that. Super Elo is already on the way to Feudal Age. Whereas Oceaning did not even click up yet. Is Oceaning? Oh, she's going for the Trush. And she's at 23 villages now and did not click up yet. Whoa, what's that strategy, Lidakor?
It remains to be seen. He's going for Loom now and clicking up the Feudal Age. This is a Drush into Archer's play. Although it's a little bit late. You normally click up at 24 Voyagers, but we have to remember that she lost a Voyager, so... So technically this is 25 Voyagers up, which is still not bad, but you usually click up at 24. I don't understand why Blue ran away from his berries, though. Like, he made a nice quick wall in between the barracks and the berries. He could have actually done just a house close to the mill. I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry, but I don't think he needed to run away from that.
Because the berries are still quite important source of food for him. So he will make sure to get that food income.
Yeah, especially considering that he's going for scouts. Now, the question is if he's going for horse color, because he should definitely go for horse color upgrade. If you're doing a scouts build, that has to be a thing, even with Chinese. Nope, he's not going for horse color. Not a fan.
Okay, okay. So there's also something to improve for Super Ilu here.
It's a really tricky thing because it has a very, very deep detail. So if you go for a scouts build with any save, you almost always want to get horse color because you don't want to make a lot of farms without horse color. But with Chinese, it's a little bit different because Chinese get some extra food on their farms, so it's not as bad as it is with other civs. But so it's hard to say if he just forget here or if he's intentionally not doing it because he is aware that he's Chinese. But normally with any other civ other than Chinese, you definitely want to go for horse color if you're going scouts.
Oh, and look how nice Super Ilu went for that gold attack here. And I wonder why Proshin did not wall her villagers earlier here at the gold. It would have been very easy to wall that. And because, I don't know, she probably did not see. Did she see that his enemy was going for the scouts? And that is so important to make sure you're walled as much as possible, as good as possible, because those simple walls can save you so much here.
Yeah, indeed. She didn't see the stable specifically, although she could scout this.
Okay.
She knows about the gold mine on the wood line, so if Blue wanted to go for archers and not scouts, there would be villagers on that gold and she could scout that. Or if you go into a little bit more detail, even though this is not something that low elo players do, and you don't even, like, we shouldn't even expect them to do this, but based on how fast your opponent is up to feudal age, you can tell if that's a scout build or not. Because a scout build is having a faster feudal age time than an archer build.
Okay.
At least, like, that's the general thing. There are some differences in some cases, but looking at the uptime of the players, you can have a pretty good clue on what your opponent could be doing.
Okay, my chat just died. So guys, I'm not able to read anything in chat right now. It says it's connecting to chat. Okay, now it has reconnected. Okay, now Proshin is harassing here the one villager trying to wall. Maybe she can really keep him from walling a little bit. But I think also Super Ilu was able to get some catches here at the berries. Were there some kills involved? Do you know that? Yeah, I think there is a dead woman lying around here.
There's a dead lady,
oh,
yes.
Dead lady!
And
oh.
Oceaning Abyss is 5 villagers behind, so there was at least 3 villagers killed overall.
Yeah, and also like kill death ratio is 5-2 here. Anarchy. I am Batman, thanks for the follow. So, and there is a hole! Oceaning, so many holes! I mean, there is still quite a big hole on the left, but besides that, in the front you might think it's closed, but even in the front, it's not closed. She really has to do some more work on that.
Now, she sees the archer range, it's just a single range. She should be aware that it's going to be skirms, so she will need to react something to this. And now she's walling the right side, that's good. Yeah, I'm okay with those walls.
He's walling out the scout from Oceaning.
Yeah, both players are going for some heavy walls here. Now, I'm not sure how... Okay, Blue is sending a villager over there to finish those walls. It was a weird decision to send that villager that was like so far away to walk all the way through the base, but not really a big deal. So... apparently some housing issues for Red over here. Oh, I like this though from Red. Look at the villager on the right side. Just scouted that wood line.
Yes,
that's something that even expert players sometimes forget, and I'm screaming when they're doing that.
Yes, when there's like one tile left on the wood line where it's open and you just didn't scout it. That happens so often.
Yeah, and I think I had one of the games back in the days when I lost something like that, and I remember whoever was my coach back then just said, you know, you lost the game because of this. So you can you can be in any great situation. If you have a hole like that, you can lose a game immediately.
Yes, it's so important to scout that too. And now, the woman could kill the scout eventually.
Yeah.
Just fight back! Oceaning, fight back! He's so weak! Oh, that death would have not been necessary.
Yeah. She probably didn't click the scout, but that's also something to pretty much keep in mind. If you are in a situation like this, just click the scout.
Yeah.
Some players play with the health bars always turned on, like Project Belgium does that. If you do that, you will always see the health bars as well, but that could be a little bit distracting as well, so it's personal preference on that.
Okay, so now we're seeing Skirms versus Archers fight. Ocean decides to leave because the Skirms are stronger. I wonder why she did not go immediately to the wood line, because she has the vision that this wood line is getting cut. So she could have went there also right away. Maybe she thought it's still open because she didn't see the wall. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, now I'm actually curious if Red is going to scout the other forest as well, because that's where the problem is. There is actually a hole.
Yeah, but
And
I think she's doing it.
That's nice.
Let's give her an applause for that, because that's really, really cool. Great job here, Oceaning. Great job. But there are quite some losses on the archers here to the Skirms.
Yeah, she needs to react to something with those, like, she can't keep making archers only here.
Yeah.
If she just went for a stable, and he has the resources, well, not really right now, but that's because she started making a market.
Yeah. And
but
now
if she went for a stable, she could just clean up those Skirms pretty easily.
Aww. But now blue clicked up Lidakor. So hopefully Oceaning will be able to do so too, because it's so important to not fall behind with the Castle Age.
Yeah, especially with archers, because archers are a little bit more expensive. Blue is making an interesting decision here, making 2 more stables at the back of his base. Not necessarily a fan of that. Like, first of all, I don't think Blue is gonna have the economy to make free TCs or free stables working. And I don't think it even is needed. Because, like, you are going free stables when you wanna decide the fight in early Castle Age with a civ that has, like, cheaper knights, for example, Berbers. But if you go free stables, you are going to be sticking with one town center for some time, because you will not have the food eco to make free stables work, and also additional town centers get the upgrades in as well. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Also, hiding the stables at the back of the base, because I think he's trying to hide them. But in reality, you could still make them a little bit closer to the front of your base. So you don't need to hide them that much, because those are just way too far at the back.
Yeah, that's just a far way for those units to walk. Yeah, I was very curious about that, like the marathon that the units here, the archers and the Skirms were doing. They just went on a marathon on the map, going in circles. Always the Skirms behind the archers.
Yeah, going for a walk.
Going for a walk, yes.
You have to be careful with that, though, because we always have to keep in mind that if your opponent is faster to Castle Age and he gets some knights out, suddenly you could lose your archers.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. What will happen, because the knights are coming now. Knights are coming fast. Okay, now blue has to take care that he won't overchop at that wood line.
Oh, why are those archers on the outside? They shouldn't be on the outside.
They should be inside the base.
And she's going Cav Archers. I think she should go for crossbow upgrade here first. Like, 2 Cav Archers aren't going to save the day, but if you get crossbow upgrade, especially with Tatars that have the free Thumbring, then that would be fine. And, like, look at the food count. She could easily get crossbowman upgrade here. And those would even melt the feudal age skirmishers.
True.
Just cancel the Cav Archers and go for crossbowmen. You would never want to make an immediate Cav Archer transition if you still have a decent amount of archers on the field. So if you have like 10 archers on the field, you want to get crossbowmen.
Okay, and hi Beige and hi Laura. Yes, this is Chunk playing. Super Ilu is Chunk. Blue is Chunk. So we're having a show match between him and one of our other ABCD participants. And this is looking like those walls will melt down pretty fast, but he's still a little bit scared of those archers.
Just get crossbowmen, please. Like, what prevents her from getting crossbowmen and having 20 crossbows on the field? That would be okay here.
She has so much food. I don't know what the plan is. She's building a TC in the
No.
front. But
You know, this feels so bad because she was in an acceptable position even though she was behind, but not making crossbow here could lose her the game, and especially now that Woodline is dead.
Woodline is dead, and those are so many villagers.
Yeah,
so many
never
villagers.
make an immediate Cav Archer transition. You need... Even with the Tars that get free Tumbling, even though now she's picking up some villagers coming forward, but she has 4 on wood.
Yeah, she's sending her Cav Archers now out for a counterattack, hoping that she can do something at the enemy base. Not all villagers at the woodline died though, so she wasn't lucky there. It's still, the villager count is 55 to 42 already, so that's quite some difference, and the knights would just kill those Cav Archers like nothing.
Yeah, that's always the problem here. So, archers also walking into Blue's TC fire. Imagine if those were all crossbows, that would be an even fight.
Yeah, it's just so much that's happening right now. It's just so much to have an eye on. That's quite difficult. And now there are skirms in the base of Oceaning, so she also has to deal with that. So that's a lot going on.
She's got a lot of food. She has a market, so she could sell a bunch and like buy a little bit of wood here, so she can keep up with the Cav Archer production at least. Honestly, if this was Woobly, the Cav Archer switch here would be absolutely fine, but indie Cav Archers are just garbage, and... Didn't she have 2 archer ranges before? Because she made a new one, and I remember her having 2.
I only see 1 here. So 1 more, so 2 now.
Yeah, I feel like there was an archer range.
Maybe, yes, I know. Maybe she killed the archery range for the town center.
But why would you do that? I mean, you could kill the house and the palisade instead, or you could kill the mining camp and the house behind. Killing an archer range is not something that you ever want to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's what I could imagine. Now she's building her own siege workshop as a reaction to the siege workshop of the enemy. Yes, it's Chunk versus Ocean redo, and it's going down. But those Cav Archers there, attacking the wall.
Yeah, she needs a stable and get husbandry for those Cav Archers. In fact, she needs the upgrades. Cav Archers will be a good force for her if she can get the upgrades, like Bloodlines, husbandry, ballistics, but you need all of those to really be efficient. Like, you can see those Cav Archers not even hitting villagers because they're so potato.
Yeah. And now Blue is building, he's building mango nails. So, Super Ilu is going for mangoes. I think
battering rams could be a little bit better decision here. You could just get 2 battering rams out, take down the archer ranges, because Red cannot do anything to stop battering rams right now.
Yeah, I mean, with the Cav Archers, she will not be able to kill those. Yeah.
Yeah,
just missing the
credits to Red for being able to reboom pretty nicely, so the villager count now is actually getting closer. It's just a matter of Cav Archers being a bad unit when you don't have the upgrades.
Yeah. And her opponent, on the other hand, has those really strong knights here already. There's a hole.
Yeah, there might be, but I don't think it's gonna go... Like, it's gonna go down to 2 small things. Oh,
Oh, the
no,
villagers.
the vultures.
Oh, and there's the GG.
Feels bad.
What
Really,
a fight!
I think Red had the ingredients.
Yes!
So she was doing some good moves. It's just a matter of polishing those moves. Like, instead of making an immediate Cav Archer play, when you have like 10 crossbows on the field, 10 archers, I think she even had like 20 or so. She sent like 10 forward, then 10 stayed back. Just get crossbowman upgrade. You'll be nice defending against the early knights, and slowly you can transition to Cav Archers. That works. But you should never go for immediate Cav Archer transition because you can't get the upgrades, and without upgrades, they're so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
so she really didn't have anything in place at that point against the knights, and she knew that there were masses of knights coming from Super Elo, so he was really heavily going on those knights. So she would have maybe needed a monastery or building more, I don't know, pikemen or something. But yeah, just only those Cav Archers, they were not able to fight back enough. But still, I think Super Elo is, as I said, he's definitely one of the strongest in the whole tournament, and his Elo is already 1,200, so quite above from the beginning of the tourney, and that was like one of the hardest enemies she could face. So, Oceaning, you just gotta keep training and then kick his ass! Congrats to both of us. Very nice. Thank you so much for that show match. Is there anything you would maybe also sum up for Super Elo? I think in the game we've talked about a couple of things also for you, Chong. So definitely watch the VOD, or maybe, I don't know, Lidakor, if you remember everything, can wrap it up a little bit.
I think like the thing that really stood out for me is the free stables at the castle age. That's not something I necessarily like. I feel like the same thing could have been done like either with two stables, and then you can probably get at least one town center in, but maybe two. You probably would have had the same result in terms of knights, but you can increase your eco a little bit better that way. The other thing is that making those stables at the back was a little bit weird for me. Even if you want to hide it, you don't need to make those that much at the back. But those are just small things, I would say. Other than that, I think it was all right. Maybe, as I said, battering rams instead of mangonels could have been a little bit better, but that's debatable. So, like, mangonels work just as fine. And honestly, it's just a matter of which do you prefer in a certain situation. I feel like maybe rams could have been a tiny bit better, but it's a very, very small difference. One thing I'm also noticed at blue, I believe, is he still had some idle time in Dark Age. That's something to look at the recorded game. So I think when he lured in the boar and he didn't force drop the food from the boar, so there was some idle time on the town center. That's something to fix. Okay. But otherwise, it's actually a pretty decent start. So he, I think, had the two villagers lead with Chinese, which is basically what you want to have. So it's really good that he can, especially being a low player, have a reasonable and decent Chinese start.
Yeah.
That's not something that a lot of people do.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it was nice to watch and very nice to cast that game. I was pushing the deer, didn't want to get the reset. Ah, okay. He just replied to that, Lidakor.
I see, makes sense. I feel like it's understandable, but you probably want to prioritize making a Voyager instead of pushing the deer. Like, it's still better to get a Voyager out consistently than being able to push in a deer, because you can always restart pushing in a deer, whereas you can't make up for that idle time that happened. But yeah, it's understandable. I think it's just about priorities. So I feel like it's more of a priority to keep the TC working, and well, it's already a good thing that he's pushing in deer. So that's something that even, like, I've seen pro players struggling with deer pushes as well. So
yeah, very well played there. Nice, thank you guys. I don't know, I would have time for even one more. How about you, Lidakor? Would you join me, or do you have some other stuff going on already?
I'll probably leave very soon because Well, I still have some assignments to do for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So
Okay.
thanks a lot for inviting me, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed. Hopefully, the players that we casted, and maybe others as well, who are in the tournament or will be rewatching the VOD, learned some stuff from this one.
For
I feel like the
sure.
best way to improve in the game is either to have your games casted by someone or just rewatch the recordings yourself, because you can improve a lot from these. I feel like these players do have the basics, so they start to use build orders, which is very nice. They just need to start polishing those. That's the harder part, but once you start cleaning up your build orders, being a little bit more natural with them, you can climb up to like 15, 1600 without any major issues.
Easy.
Like, you always gotta think about the fact that Dave is climbing up to 1500 with a controller. So it's just a matter of, you can't really say it's the matter of APM. It's more about the fact that you need to know how to react to certain situations. You need to know what comes after what, and it's more about. I think Nili also said that you get to 1500 by being, if you can execute any build order perfectly, you are gonna have like 1500 rating or so, and that's probably true. Below 1600, there's always something that goes wrong for players. You might not notice it when you're playing it because you are under stress and you're focusing on things, but when you rewatch the recordings, it becomes obvious. Hey, I had idle time here. I was housed for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm also doing when I'm like trying to improve a little bit as a player. So I think I've rewatched like I played in the World Cup for Hungary, and I think I rewatched my games like 10 times.
That's
and I was
spirit.
like, how can I be so bad?
Oh, come on. I think you always feel bad when you're watching your own games, kind of. Because you see so many things afterwards that you can improve. But that's normal, I guess. Everyone sees that. Yeah. Yeah, I think he did very well with that fuel age time, though. I'm like, wow, it's so fast. Okay, yeah, Lidakor, thank you so much for today. Thank you for casting these games with me, and it was a pleasure to have you here. Applause for you. This one's for you.
Thank you so much, and well, good luck with the tournament.
Thank you.
I'll probably stick around and take a look at some games from the semis and finals or so. So good luck, and it's great to see some low elo players and events.
Yes, you will see them get stronger and stronger in the future, I promise. All right, Lida, have a good one.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.